how vulnerable are we? I mean, there's a new story where a genetic testing company goes bankrupt, and they're telling people that use this company, you better reach out and try to find a way to delete your data. Because ultimately, what happens is whoever buys this company or what's left of it out of bankruptcy will have all your information, all your DNA, all your data. It's amazing what we were just talking about yesterday. Now we're starting to see it. Also, a college has just been hit. So another data breach. How safe really are we when we come to technology? Also, another report from Doge shows that we've wasted not only trillions, but we're also overpaying 7 million people that shown to be dead through Social Security. So the cleaning up of the budgets is a good thing. Now the question is, we still have politicians telling us that we shouldn't be cleaning it up. To me, when we expose this stuff and then all of a sudden do nothing about it, it shows how weak and inept we really are. We're going to talk about what Congress and also what Doge is doing this week and how, sadly, the non-change is actually worse than knowing the fraud. That's the sad thing, because now we're exposing it and not doing anything about it. Also, we're going to talk about what just happened. Very disturbing video coming from Ukraine soldiers. I want you to look at just a little picture of what I'm talking about here. I mean, that's burning models of certain people in our government. And they still want hundreds of billions of dollars of our taxpayer funds. We gave to them and they get nothing in return. But now they're literally putting fake models of our leaders on a stake, burning our flag, and we want people to keep supporting this war? Come on. And then lastly, back to our food. There's a new verdict out of Georgia that shows the jury ordered to pay billions of dollars dealing with weed killer. The thing about this weed killer is the same weed killer that they're using that just got found guilty of causing major issues. It's the same weed killer and the same companies that own your food and also are spraying your food. This kind of links back to another story of what Mr. Gates is doing. Why do I keep bringing him up? Because I think we don't understand how dangerous, even though we've got good leadership, the danger that's still around us. We'll talk about that, talk about what Ron Paul said, and it will be a great video. You need to pay attention to these stories. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to the channel today. Thank you so very much for being here. If you are new, please go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. And by giving us a thumbs up, that means the world to us. So thank you so very much for being here. Now let's jump into these stories and the severity of these stories. First, let's go to Georgia. I want to talk about this story because it kind of just goes along with what we've been talking about through the last few weeks. It says, Roundup weed killer verdict. Georgia jury orders Bayer to pay $2 billion. German agriculture and pharmaceutical giant Bayer fell in European trading after Georgia jury ordered Monsanto parent company to pay $2.1 billion of damages in a Roundup weed killer case that caused cancer. Now, I want to go back and just listen to the names I just said there. Bayer, Monsanto, pharmaceutical giant, agricultural giant. And now they say that this is called cancer for this gentleman. Now, why is this important? Monsanto is one of the biggest food providers and feed providers in America. Bayer not only is a medicine provider, a pharmaceutical provider, they're also a chemical provider that sprays these chemicals on your crops for you to eat. The same chemical that they just found guilty of causing cancer. Now, what did I say? They're not only the agricultural provider that's spraying the chemical of herbicides, they're the same provider that's providing the drugs with Monsanto, the feed, which also provides cancer treatments. Now tell me how that is allowed to happen. The same company that provides the feed, that provides the food, sprays the food, provides the pharmacy for the food after it's done, and then provides you the treatments because of the damage that their own product has done. It's amazing why we're allowing this to take place. This is the kind of stuff. Don't tell me that these Congress are worried about daylight savings time when we have our farms, not my farm, but farm, spraying their crops, spraying every aspect of their lawns and their pesticides all over, herbicides all over the garden foods that you're supposed to eat. And we just see that they were found guilty of this chemical causing cancer. and no one's bringing it up. No one talks about it, and it's amazing to me that we're allowing this to take place. This goes along with the story I want to read to you. This came from CNBC. It says, Gates is backing the first experiment of one radical change in solution to our climate, creating a massive chemical cloud that could cool the earth. But it also comes with significant risk. This risk is dangers of mass famine, mass flooding, and drought. The same guy who is now trying to cloud us is also giving you the fertilizers and the herbicides to then make the crop grow, even with no sun coming down, which is natural. He's also providing the genetic modified seed for this to take place. Do you not see us setting up for a complete and utter famine or complete and utter sickness because we are contaminating our food? The reason I want this to be first and forefront is we don't realize more than anything else. I don't want to hear about daylight savings time. I don't want to hear about Ukraine. I don't want to hear about the European Union and how they're worried about Teslas. I don't want to hear about all that. The bottom line is if we miss all that, it won't really matter. But if we miss out on the fact that the thing that gives us nutrients, energy, and feeds our body is now chemical laced and causing the problems for us to be sick, for them to treat it, that's a big issue. Now, I don't want to hear about SNAP paying for soda. I think that's an absolute stupid thing that we're even talking about. It's unbelievable that we're giving food to people, and instead of them getting quality food, they get trash food. I want you to listen to this. I thought this was really good. This is from a Twitter account. I thought this was just a great comment. He said, why don't we just end SNAP? Replace the fake money that they've been getting, because a lot of people are selling this as a secondhand market, those EBT cards. Listen to this. Replace it with monthly distributions of dried beans, powdered milk, and rice. Take care of them by providing them food. You'll see how many people will go back to work because they won't have the garbage food that they've been buying, the snacks they've been buying, and ways to sell the EBT card. You start giving them food, rice, beans, powdered milk, powdered eggs, or you start giving them goods like that. He said, watch how fast they go back to work. I actually believe that too. I believe that if you started doing welfare checks and we started making sure that we did drug testing on welfare recipients and SNAP recipients, if we started seeing, okay, we're going to do monthly checks in your home, if there's anything that's illegal or you're doing something wrong or you're not trying to find a job, if you're not trying to help yourself, we take benefits away. That's the kind of stuff I think that we need to really change about America. This goes back to the same thing that we've been so entitled that we quit growing our food, that we allow all these people to grow our food, allow us to have the convenience and comfort of growing food with all these chemicals, and then ultimately now we're realizing it makes us sick. And then now we want to sue them. And don't get me wrong, I hope this guy wins. I hope everybody wins. But the thing is this, we wouldn't have this problem if we just started doing things the right way. I literally just did a video on my vlog channel. Please go watch it. Please go watch it. I know you may not watch farm vlogs, but please go watch what we just did to fertilize our potatoes in our gardens. Hard work. But we're building a rabbit and chicken system that we've been doing for 10 to 12 years, all in the name of fertilization, so we can have natural fertilizers that are going to our crops to give us healthy foods. And does that mean that we're going to live to be 120 years old? No, it doesn't. We can still get sick. But what it does mean is we're trying to take our food system back. Please go watch that video because you see how hard it is. But you see that's exactly what we're supposed to do. It goes back to biblical days. I mean, we're supposed to toil the soil. We're supposed to work hard for our food. We're supposed to go out. It shouldn't be given to us. We shouldn't be negotiating SNAP benefits for Pepsi. We shouldn't be worried about those kind of things. We shouldn't be allowing our pharmaceutical company to be our agricultural company to be involved with Food and Drug Administration. That makes no sense to me because what we're doing is we're benefiting both sides of it by making us sick with one and then all of a sudden treating us with the other. Now, tell me how topsy-turvy that is. Well, before I get too mad, I guess I need to keep on going to the other stories. Listen to this new report from New York Post. DOJ discovers 4.7 trillion, that's with a T now, trillion, in Treasury payments that were missing critical coding, meaning traceability is impossible, meaning $4.7 trillion went to people we don't even know. We can't even tell the coding on it. We don't even know if it went to John Smith, Jack Smith, Dorothy Smith, the politician down the road, the lobbyist down the road, this foreign country that has terror. We don't even know. $4.7 trillion DOJ just found, and we have no idea where it went. Now, you wonder how these congressmen are uber wealthy. You wonder how these defense contractors are uber wealthy. You wonder how they can live in hundreds of millions of dollars of homes. You wonder how Zelensky, the Ukrainian dictator, has a home in Miami and has a home in California. $1 million mansions. I mean, do you have $1 million mansion? I don't. I mean, do you have millions floating into you? No. You know, there's a new report that shows, and to this day, John Thune and Mike Johnson, these Republican rhinos, will not bring it up. Listen to this. I've brought this up for months now. Sarah Adams and SRS podcast, if you watch Sean Ryan, they expose the fact that $40 to $80 million a week of taxpayer dollars were going to the Taliban. What they were doing was Anthony Blinken, Biden's administration, had to admit to it, and what he was doing was saying, no, we wasn't paying the Taliban. Well, he was skirting the truth there. He's paying an NGO, and that NGO is a Taliban sympathizer, and then that sympathizer is paying the Taliban. Listen to this. This is what should make you mad. This is what I was telling you in the very first. When we expose it, we find out what happens, and then nobody does anything about it. That's worse than us not knowing about it, like the $4.7 trillion that we just found out. Listen to this. Mike Johnson, John Thune. Now, Tim Sheehy, a senator from the West, and then a Congressman, Burchett from Tennessee, both brought up these bills to quit paying terror. I mean, simple bill. Quit paying the terrorists. $40 to $80 million a week. A week now. That means of your taxpayer dollars, $120 to $160 million, at least a month, is going to Taliban fighters. That is, I mean, do you realize that? Millions of your dollars, when you're struggling to pay for your exit insurance, millions of your dollars are going to the Taliban. That is a proven fact from the Biden administration, and it's still going on. Here's why. Mike Johnson says he just can't bring it for a vote because he's scared people are going to tack on other things in it, so nobody's going to vote for it. John Thune, well, we just can't bring it for a vote because we're scared that other senators won't go along with it because they're going to put other things in there. It's not going to be clean. So your Republicans are as dirty as the Democrats because they're not bringing these votes up and your taxpayer dollars are getting wasted. Just what did I say? They've not codified any of Trump's executive actions. They've not codified any of DOJ's findings and quit spending money. No, they're still spending it like crazy. So they're lying to you. They're lying to you. Listen to this. 7 million. DOJ just found 7 million people over 120 now that is still collecting a check. Well, of those 120, they're all dead. That's what they're saying. So 7 million payments. You know, we brought that drawing up not too long ago. It showed like people that are like 200 years old still getting payments for Social Security. They're showing now, after 3 weeks of auditing, 7 million people are literally getting checks that shouldn't be getting checks. And they still have 5 million more to go through that's over 120. So there could be a whopping 10 to 12 million people that are getting checks that supposedly are over 120 years old that are still getting an active Social Security amount going to their accounts. Now you tell me that's not wasteful and abuse. Now we see that, but guess what? Because it says Social Security, you watch, not one person, not one Republican will touch it because they're like, well, we can't touch it when we're just trying to get the waste, fraud, and abuse out of it. So the knowing of this stuff is what's so dangerous because the more we know and then nobody does anything about it, we deserve everything we get. We deserve the recession and depression we get. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest with you. We deserve the debt problems. We deserve the falling market. We deserve crappy situations. We deserve the famines. We deserve the depressions. Why? Because we're allowing food systems to be broke by people that we want to not grow food. We don't want to do it ourselves. We don't want to get our hands dirty. So then we get mad when Bayer sprays our food. We deserve the problems that they're going to cause. We deserve the problems that Bill Gates is going to cause because ultimately he's spraying our skies and our government's letting it happen. We deserve the fact of what we got because we keep electing these same congressmen, these same Senate to keep passing these bills to ultimately take advantage of your tax dollars. The Taliban? Didn't we just pay, 10 to 15 trillion dollars for the last 20 years to fight them? And now we're paying them? And not one thing has been said about it. This goes to what Ron Paul said on a PBD podcast. If you have not watched that PBD podcast with Ron Paul this last few days, you need to go back and watch it. It's about an hour long. And sometimes Ron Paul is getting a little older, so sometimes he kind of goes on tangents. But he basically said they want chaos in the streets. He said, I'm absolutely the most optimistic person here. He said, but the thing is, once we expose all this stuff and what Elon is doing and Trump is doing, they're exposing it. But if nobody's doing anything about it, he said, what they're doing is causing more catastrophic events that's going to take place. They are literally polarizing the people, because what's going to happen is more people are going to wake up to the fact of where their taxpayers' dollars are going, and you're going to see a massive fight in America. Not because they hate the leadership, not because they're mad. It's because they see their taxpayer dollars being wasted, and we wonder why we're in such bad shape with $36 trillion, literally, in the hole, and then on top of that, $2 trillion each year in the hole. It doesn't matter what Trump does. If the judges and legislators are not codifying and actually do anything about it, it's going to keep on happening. Listen to that interview with Ron Paul, because he says we're setting up for some of the hardest times that America has ever faced. He said it looks like cupcakes and rainbows. He said, but remember, just because they're saying it and no one's actually doing the actions, no one's actually codifying what Doge is doing, no one's actually trying to change things. I mean, we heard Pam Bondi come out this week, and she said, well, we're gonna actually prosecute the people that Doge is bringing up. This is the same person that hadn't released the Epstein files yet. This is the same person that hadn't done any arrest in any of the investigations that she's so-called done. All she knows how to do is go on Fox News and talk about it. If she keeps saying it, then hopefully one day somebody will be arrested, or one day somebody will be fired for their problems. One day they will be demoted. You know, there's hardly, I mean, the only thing that's been done is security clearances ripped from people. The only thing that's been done is Pete Hegseth had demoted some of the 4-star generals that shouldn't have had them in the first place. Other than that, nothing else has happened. We've been promised a lot. And don't get me wrong, FBI has called the 10 most wanted. That's awesome. That is awesome. Way to go, Patel. But the things that we've promised about all this arrest, all these people that's done bad things and fraudulent things, nobody's done anything about it. I mean, Jasmine Crockett came out last week openly threatening Tesla and threatening Elon and threatening Trump. There was a device found at a Tesla dealership in Texas just yesterday. Breaking news, there was a bomb found at a Tesla dealership yesterday. So why can we not hold these people accountable? They try to hold Trump accountable for J6 for literally saying peacefully go. This person is saying go to the streets, cause problems and havoc, and you see people are getting damaged cars and now bombs? Unbelievable. And no one is going to call their hand at it, because these congressmen are all talk and no action. You know, what is it in Texas where they, all hat and no cattle? That's exactly what happens. We've got to change. If we keep electing these same people, it's called insanity, because we keep electing them to do the same things and we're thinking we're going to get a different event. People like the Cornyn's, these senators have been there for 30 years. They've done nothing for you. They've done nothing for me. All they've done is spend your money, give your money away, cause you to be more impoverished, and we're not doing anything about it. Why do we have the Fed? Why do we have these senators that keep on going back? Because we're not doing enough investigation of our own, and we're not getting opened up. Our eyes are not opening enough to realize these people are not representing us whatsoever. Last story I want to bring up is the genetic testing firm 23andMe. Listen to this. It says, genetic testing firm 23andMe files for bankruptcy. California AG issues stark warning that 15 million people that used 23andMe need to go and find a way to delete their data. It says the Attorney General Rob Bonta is urgently telling the customers to delete their data from this company out of Chapter 11, because what happens if all of a sudden whoever takes control of their data? It's unbelievable. California has a robust privacy laws that allows consumers to take control of their data, that says we need to delete the genetic data. If you do not do this, whoever purchases this, wherever this company ends up going and falling into bankruptcy, your information can be more compromised than ever. This goes along yesterday with me talking about your data and how important it is. This goes along with the fact that there was also a report that there was a school that was hit also. Hacker hits NYU website, post alleged test scores, GPA based on race relations and what he thought of these people's names. It was like a joke, a practical joke. Are we so hackable? Is our data so easily gotten that hackers could just go in there and just falsify anything, steal things from us, compromise us, and it becomes almost a walking joke even in college? I mean, this is a college. So how safe is our data when we have companies that we supposedly trusted to get our data, got our blood work, got our fingerprints, got our scanned our eyes, things like that, and all of a sudden now the California is like, hey, you better get your information back. Now that's pretty easily said and done for 15 million people. All this stuff is just unbelievable. It truly is unbelievable. The reason we bring these stories up, though, is I want you to realize, like what Ron Paul said, what happens with Mr. Gates, what's happening with your food system, what's happening with our government that is knowingly doing fraudulent things and they're not doing anything about it. We're setting ourselves up for complete and utter problems. We're setting ourselves up for famines. We're setting ourselves up for civil unrest. We're setting ourselves up to be more sustainable. If you're not, then you will be under entitlement, but you will be where the government has their finger on you and you have to do what they say. Do not put yourself in that situation. This guy got millions of dollars from Bayer. He'd probably rather have his health back, wouldn't you think? What's the money going to do if you're dead? That's what I'm saying to you. We have to realize that we have a broken system all the way around, from our food to our medicine to literally our government spending, and to the fact that we're still paying terror groups. I mean, literally, that picture I showed you of the burning, we have sent $250 billion at least to Ukraine. And because we quit, Ukrainian soldiers are burning models of our senior leadership, of our president, vice president, secretary of state, national security, Department of Defense, burning them. That right there should say all that we need to say and say, look, I don't care what happens to you at this point. Do whatever. I don't care who takes you over. It doesn't matter. Give me my money back too. Now, I'm just being honest. I mean, it just makes me sick that they've taken our money, not been appreciative of it. I mean, he literally came out and stated, Ukraine's leader came out and stated that he will not sign a peace agreement unless they're in NATO or there's troops on the ground, but would not let UN peacekeeping troops come in. I don't even like UN, but Europe wanted peacekeeping troops there, but they wouldn't even allow it. It might be because there's some dirty stuff happening there that no one needs to know about, and he's scared even UN would find it. Lots taking place. Don't think it's all cupcakes and rainbows. I'm sorry to be the Debbie Downer today, but the point is, if we do not pay attention to these stories and don't change the habits of what we're doing, then we're not helping. If we're morbidly obese and we keep eating crappy food and not doing anything about it, we're still going to be morbidly obese. We just knowingly see it. And then the doctor tells us, hey, you're going to die because you're not losing weight. And then we do nothing about it. All we did was expose the truth, but really nothing changed. If we knowingly know these things and we do nothing about it, then we're going to get exactly what we think we're going to get. Famines, depressions, recessions, and problems. Chaos in the streets, civil unrest. Because literally we're exposing all of it and nothing is changing. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this video. Again, my goal is to encourage you to be sustainable. Be independent. Learn to do something about your food, your prepping, your goods. If you can't grow it, you better start buying it and get it now. Please pay attention and take care of your family, because these stories are becoming realer and realer and realer. Is that a word? I don't know if it's a word. But they're becoming more reality for you. Pay attention. God bless.